the Kansas State Wildcats. What a game and what potential drama we have in store. You've seen this script before. Top 10 team goes into a cauldron of emotion on the road and just hopes to be able to get out and tell about it. As we see the number 7 team in the country, the Arizona State Sun Devils, taking on a team recharged after a much-needed bye week, the Kansas State Wildcats. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Sun Devils will put total leather to crank us up. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. First down for the offense. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
And that's a good sight to see from this defense. Last week, they gave up a ton of points in a loss. This week, getting a deflection early. Hopefully see the ball a little bit better, play the passing game better. This defense definitely has to improve from what it was a week ago.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. On the move, it's Giddens. Powers through the defender. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
I think tackling is about effort most of the time. It's about how much passion, how much physicality you can bring to get your guy on the ground. Refuse not to get him on the ground. That's not a big back. You got to get that guy on the ground. You can't let him pick up an extra couple yards and stay ahead of the sticks.
They'll need 3 yards here on 3rd down to keep this opening drive alive. Johnson looking to throw. They're working that left side. And they wrap him up.
Got to do. You got to be decisive on these 3rd down type plays to move the sticks.
Kansas State back at it after picking up the 1st down. Looking to move it through the air. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Giddens. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide. And a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
Picked up some yardage with that completion. Now 2nd down. Give to the running back. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these 3rd downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on 2nd down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up 3rd and long, and now you're set up to fail.
3rd and short now from their own 48. Here's the handoff. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the 1st. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
Trying to find his man on 1st down. And they're on him in a heartbeat, and down he goes.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
Wide receiver now comes in motion. Quarterback checking the play. Johnson wants to throw it. Looking to the big tight end. On target to the left. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
That's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
It's one thing to get that huge play. Now you got to cash it in with 6. 1st and 10 from the 24. They'll run it to the right side. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Not many hiccups on this drive, but it's 2nd and 13 now. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Loses 3. Brings up 3rd down.
Tenth play of the drive coming up, but this time a chance for the defense to get off the field on 3rd and long. With the catch, it's Giddens. Got some room, entered to the goal line. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas State.
And how about the job by this offense? This is not a scrub defense. This is a top 10 defense in college football. You got to take points whenever you can get them. Nice job putting the drive together, putting 6 on the board. No matter how it looks, you just got to keep fighting with this squad.
Arizona State, 0.
On the move from inside his 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down.
1st and 10.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Arizona State.
Looking for a productive play on 1st down. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And the completion to the sideline, a solid pickup, but not enough for the 1st down.
And a really good job focusing on the catch. A lot of people get lost on their feet and trying to stay in bounds, but did a good job catching the football first and then getting that one foot they need to get in bounds.
A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on 2nd down. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Tackle is made after the 1st down.
You know, you start day 1 of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a 1st down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. They're not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
They'll put it in play from the 41 on 1st down. They'll give it to the back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the 1st down play.
Just a simple power play. Again, not sexy, run the ball up the middle, physicality, offensive line gets to assert themselves, run block, what they love to do. This pays dividends down the road in the 4th quarter.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. He's looking to throw. Dances away to buy time. They get to him as he throws. Finds his big tight end. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Kansas State 7, Arizona State 0.
They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
It's hard to stop great runners. It really is. That's why you run the football consistently. You got a big offensive line, a big physical unit. You run the football like this, man, it will take a toll later. But you got to tackle this guy over and over again who has this ability to make people miss and make big plays.
Now on first and goal as they try to answer that opener with a touchdown of their own. He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater. And the Sun Devils in the hurry-up. Movement here from the tight end. They'll try to slam it in. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
The defense stiffened on the last play. Now it's third and goal again from the 2. They'll try to run it in. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down.
Second quarter might not be gamble time, but inside the 3, Palmer, I've got the green light. I'm going for this.
I am too, and you're essentially running a 2-point play here, right? You've got a play you practice all week long. That's the play you dial up right here.
They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. And this ought to be a chip shot from about 20 yards out. And it's right down the boulevard. They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The give to the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Throws for the tight end. He's got an open man. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. On first down, here comes this offense.
Here we go.
Takes the handoff. It's Giddens. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
4-2 spider.
Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
This running back just doesn't go down easily. It's just difficult for defenses to get him on the ground. Not overly huge, but if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm going to continue to find ways to feature him. And just, you know what? Let his talent do the rest.
On third down, going up top. That's caught. It's Edwards. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. Kansas State has it first and goal. Wide receiver shows motion. Touch pass on the run. And they're able to get him down.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. They keep pushing forward, down to the 3, but now it's third and goal. Trying to barge in. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And you know exactly what time it is when you get down here in the red zone. You got to be able to run the football. But when you got a back like this who punches the ball in the end zone consistently almost every single game, you are going to feed that animal the rock.
It's good. Easy call for the refs. So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, David.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. Wide out in motion. On second down, just keeps firing. That one never had a chance. Incomplete.
Third down coming.
It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. They'll try to run for it. Tackle is made, but not until he gets the first down.
Really nice job on third down by this offense. This offense has struggled on third downs throughout the season. Not even in the top 50, but you know what? When you make it third and short, when you have the run-pass option and you're not predictable, you can be more successful. So let's see if this offense can continue to put themselves in good positions.
The Sun Devils getting set on 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Makes the grab on the left.
Nice patience by the quarterback here working against zone coverage. He was allowing his receiver an opportunity to find that open space in the defense before pulling the trigger.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. And he intercepts it. Got room on the return. A sweet return after the pick, and they'll have it at the 43.
What a nice catch by the defensive back. Listen, a lot of times you see DBs get in position to make plays, but there's a reason they play DB and not wide receiver. Great job finishing the interception, catching the ball, making a big play.
Running back searching for a hole.
Hey, 5 to 6 yards a pop. I don't know if you guys are really good at math, but that usually equals a first down every couple carries. So don't forget about the run game. Keep them honest, pound that rock.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. To the ground with the back. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Kansas State.
Third and short here from the 35. Might take a shot here if this is 4-down territory. They'll try to power their way ahead. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Here comes the field goal unit. This one will be a 45-yard attempt, and he'll kick it from the left side. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. That late-in-the-half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. They'll throw it on first down. Complete to the left. They finally make the stop, but that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. Kansas State will kick it off to start things in the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Arizona State has the ball back in the offense, making its way onto the field. If they're going to get on top in this game, they're going to have to find a way to get the running game going in the second half.
Agree, so it can create some more balance, some more unpredictability. I feel like this defense has got a good beat on what they're doing, especially if they don't mix it up a little bit. So I do look for a little second half running the football, Palmer, out of this group.
And I think the thing, Dave, is they just got to be more physical. I don't think this is a scheme question about trying different run plays. I think it's up to the big fellas up front. They've just got to make the decision that they're going to be tougher here in the second half so that they can win this game.
It's complete to the left. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down.
Great job by the offense, being patient, understanding when they're in zone coverage. I got to hit those tight windows, make those precise passes to get those big plays.
They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. He's going to pass. Pressure coming. Blasted as he lets it go. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the first half. Man, you're starting to get now in the second half, and this offense just has really, really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the third quarter. They got to get it going now.
Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. There he goes to the right. Touchdown, Sun Devils. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
And how about the tight end showing off the athletic ability? Does a great job in the blocking game. Now, when you need to make a big play in the passing game, you just turn him loose, throw him the football, and he can make big plays like he did right here.
Arizona State, 10.
It bounds through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Johnson looking to throw. Gets it out quickly. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. He just didn't have a chance to get loose and make his way to that first down marker.
And I think fans get upset sometimes. Like, run your route past the sticks so we get the first down. But nice job by the defense understanding where the sticks were and forcing the fourth down.
Really explosive when he gets his hands on the ball, and he found a couple of crevices and made a nice game before being run out of bounds. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. They put it in the end zone the last time they had it, and now an opportunity to really take control of this game.
You can feel the momentum shifting. If they were able to take the football here, drive it down the field, and score again, David, they would have all of that momentum on their side.
And there's nothing about momentum that you can quantify. Like, I don't understand it, but once it gets going in one direction, a lot of times it's so hard to swing it back the other direction. The momentum is real, and they got it.
Clock ticks under the 4-minute mark here in the third quarter. Going up top on first down. Unloads to the right. How about getting the foot down on that throw for the big completion?
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible, and sometimes it doesn't work in the running game. But I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of it.
He's looking to throw it. That is just a sideline credit. Throw, catch, toe drag, everything you want.
There's just so much chemistry between this quarterback and his receiver. And you saw it right there, down the perimeter, trying to work the boundary. Just put it somewhere near him. He'll catch it, he'll get a foot down, and help out his offense.
They'll try the run. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense. A manageable distance on third down as they try to convert from the 20. To the ground to try to pick up the first. And the Sun Devils are stopped, but not before getting it past the sticks.
You got to wonder if that's a moral victory for this offensive line because they have not been running the ball well at all game long. But on that short yardage situation, they finally pick it up, and maybe that's going to be the catalyst for them to get this thing going and spark the run game.
Wants to throw on first down. He's moving out of the pocket. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
And I think this is important for this defense. This will be a big key in the football game. Like, I got to limit the damage from that guy because that's a QB that's dynamic, and he can make so many big plays. I got to string him out. I got to make him to get to the sideline. But I will say this. I do want to hit him at the end of the runs. I don't want to let him out of bounds and let him get free carries. I want it to be physical.
Gets it inside the 10, picks up a yard. They'll mark it at the 9. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. Toss to the outside. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
Once you start getting closer to the end zone, you start bringing in more big bodies, right? They're going to run the football more. The field shrinks. I can run different coverages, but really not.
Touchdown, Arizona State! And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half. Lining up for the PAT.
The best running backs are the guys that can just sniff out the end zone. That running back showed you all of his freakish ability on that play.
So they started that drive barely into opponent's territory and went 48 yards. And they finished it off with the score from the 4. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Quarterback checking off. Johnson wants to throw it. Working that left side now. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but Great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
They're going to throw it again. Not in lockstep there with the receiver.
Well, on that incompletion, the quarterback and the receiver just not on the same page. I mean, that wasn't even close.
Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Got a man, it's Giddens. Still running at the 40. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. This Kansas State offense is moving quickly down the field. Comes out throwing on first down. Unloads to the wideout. And the pass hits, picked off. Taking it the other way. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
You know, I like the decision by the quarterback in terms of where he was going with the ball. Just don't like the accuracy. That was not good location on the throw. Got away from him a little bit, and the defense able to come up with a big pick.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
That's a throw the QB would like to have back. He just has to do a better job giving his receiver a chance to make the catch.
Ball still on the 34 after the incompletion. Let's see if they throw it again on 2nd and 10. From the gun, running back on the move. They'll give him a couple. That leaves him with 3rd and 8.
Tackle is made at the 37-yard line. It's 3rd down. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Arizona State 17, Kansas State 13.
They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Catch in the middle, it's Brown. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Well, this defense has given up some big plays in this game so far, but they've got a lot of talent on that side of the football. Someone has to step up here, make a play, get a stop, and put their team in a position to win.
The Sun Devils will line it up on 1st and 10. The give to the back. Keeps the legs moving. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
They've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, and there's certainly still plenty of football to go. But this is where you'd love to control the flow of the game, right? You want to dictate everything to the defense, and you do that by running the football. That was a really nice run. This offensive line is firing off late. Looks like they're getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is a good sign for the offense.
6-yard pickup on 1st down leaves him with 2nd and 4. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. Looking left. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. Takes it the other way. And the senior just snatched the ball out of the air and gave it back to his offense.
Well, what a play by the defense. They're trailing here in the 4th quarter by 1 possession. Able to steal it away now and put their offense in position to at least go tie this game.
And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Here comes the offense on second down. The give to the tailback. And the Wildcats get it past the sticks.
Well, it's not a home run, but it's just enough by the running back to move the chains.
Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. They're getting this guy lathered up. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
From the red zone, it's Giddens. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the 1st down.
Well, the offense knew what they needed to get that 1st down, so they dial up the running play, and they get just enough to keep the drive alive.
And the Wildcats are flying down the field. They go to the ground, and they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. Quarterback will audible. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
And here we go, down to score. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive.
And it's such a good job by this defense. This offense is trying to find a spark, trying to get back in this football game. They're trying to be aggressive. The defense answers, and now you put your offense in a beautiful position to go out, execute a really good drive, and put a little distance between the other squad.
Arizona State has the ball back, and the offense making its way onto the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think he can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
We've reached the 2-minute warning in this offense, trying to milk this clock and keep time on their side. Ordinarily on 2nd and 10, you might look past, but here you just want to keep that clock moving. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. What a good run there. He has enough for the 1st down.
No mystery on that play. With the lead, we are going to run the ball. You know it's coming, and we are running right at you, right into the teeth of the defense, and they're still able to get a nice game.
And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Leaves it with the running back. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
And not a surprise by this offense, right? This is a game management type situation. I want to run the football. I want to run the clock. The clock is my friend with the lead late in the fourth quarter, inside of a minute. I'm going to keep this ground game going and make you have to look at that clock continue to tick.
He'll try the left side. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And the Sun Devils come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They move the tight end all over. Running to the left. He showed it all there. A little elusiveness, a little power, and he's got the first down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create second and short, third and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator to pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
On second down, let's see if they go right back to the run and put this game on ice. They'll go to the ground. He makes the tackle at the 37. It's a pickup of 5. That's good enough for a first down. This drive has been exclusively on the ground. Could they be setting up a shot play? They'll ride the hot hand. And a decent gain there before the defense makes a stop. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Got him looking run. He wants to throw. Got his man. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
That play is going to drive the head coach absolutely crazy. You've got the lead. Why are you going out of bounds? Just get down, lead the clock. The clock right now is your friend.
Long drive continues as the offense keeps working the ball down the field. From the red zone, looking for a man. Makes the catch, and he will score! Touchdown, Sun Devils! That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the fourth quarter as they go for their 6th straight win.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it.
Oh, they want the 2, and the holder tries to throw for it. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback. They'll try to follow that last touchdown with an onside kick. They're on it. They recover the onside kick, and they get it right back. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The offense uses a timeout, 20 ticks remaining. Line gets set, first down. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
All right, you dug yourself a little bit of a hole offensively. You know you're going to have to throw it here in the second half. You're going to have to make sure, though, you do a better job up front with your pass pro. You got to keep your quarterback standing upright.
3:25
Johnson looking to throw. And the ball is intercepted. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
That should be the nail in the coffin. What a great break on the football. Getting the big turnover. You got the lead. Now just go out there, be smart on offense, and run that clock.
First down for this offense. He wants to start this drive with a pass. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
And that's a big play for the defense. Playing at home, you're trailing. You need to create takeaways. You got to get the ball back. Nice job breaking on that one and knocking it away.
And after this play, the cake will be baked. He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. Time to take a shot. And the deep shot is complete inside the 35-yard line. Timeout is called with just a single second left.
Timeout, Arizona State.
One more play to pad the stats. To the air on first down. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. After not really playing their best earlier this season, people said, this team is bad. Now they won 3 in a row. This team is good. People are fickle.
Yeah, and we're probably the ones who were saying that a little bit, Reese, because they were struggling. It didn't look like they knew who they were, and they didn't have the momentum going. But now they definitely got it together, Jesse, and they look like a different team.
They sure do, David. We know teams get better or they get worse over the course of a season. This team right now, completely different. Almost the polar opposite than what we saw earlier this year. And I'll tell you, look at their schedule and who they've got left. Those teams better be careful. This team is coming for them.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.